Hey guys, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is DeLady Designer, and we are back with part 2, the last part of our polar bear habitat. If you've missed it, I already uploaded the first part. This zoo, it's I'm completely confused because I have a guest with me.
I didn't even do anything.
So we have the amazing Rudi Rennkamel here. This was totally unplanned. I was just like, he was telling me like, oh yeah, I'm watching your polar bear habitat, the first one. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna record the second episode in a minute. He was like, oh, I wanna sing. And I was like, oh yeah, you wanna join? So yeah, that was 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, that was like super spontaneously. I love it.
So yeah, the most spontaneous guest ever, but of course my lovely, most favorite camel. So I will link his channel in the description if you don't know Rudi Rennkamel yet. He's an awesome, amazing creator. He just created a Jumanji movie habitat in Planet Zoo, which is really awesome. And obviously he did crazy things. Planets of the Apes. What kind of other movie sets did you do?
I did Star Wars. No, your episode
right.
is not monetized anymore. It's copyrighted. No, I'm just kidding. And Lord of the Rings, I guess. I think. Yeah,
Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, definitely go and check him out. He also does normal franchise series and sandbox series. And of course, Koali Zoo. Everyone knows Rudi Rennkamel, of course. But if you haven't yet, definitely go and check him out. So thank you for joining,
thank you for having
Camel.
me. I'm really excited. I love this build. Because when we were talking beforehand, like, I don't know, polar bear has been, you said that in your episode as well, in your first one, but the polar bear has been kind of, I don't know, left out. At the beginning, everyone was like, yeah, doing one habitat, and then the polar bear gate happened, and afterwards, like, no one really tackled that.
Yeah,
and I'm so happy you do finally. It's so cool.
The polar bear was very, very, it was just, I remember when the Arctic Pack launched and we saw the requirements of the habitat, and even though I totally get it that these are basically the requirements a polar bear needs in a real zoo, like, it was too crazy, and I think everyone was just a little bit disappointed by it, and I actually barely touched the Arctic Pack.
Oh, yeah.
I felt so bad, but I don't know. It really a little bit ruined my fun, I guess, and I just couldn't get over it. And we talked about the polar bear habitat for so long in Koali, also a little bit joking around in a later stage because, well, we wanted to add a polar bear, and then it was like, it's just really not the best climate. You could add a polar bear in a zoo in like such a hot climate. We joke about it a lot at the moment, but no one of you did. You created a polar bear habitat, but that was more like an Arctic area, right?
It was like a natural area. It was like an Arctic research station, and the polar bear basically lived in the wild. So it was not really a habitat in that kind of sense. But I basically melted my PC with it because I made the whole map the habitat, and this calculation is no good for computers. So.
Oh gosh, and you use like a lot of the snow rocks and stuff, right?
And I'm a complete idiot, and I put them all in one building. And whenever you click the building where all the ice blocks and stuff are in, like over, I think, 30,000 ice blocks, the computer is like froze. It's frozen for a minute, which is a joke in itself, but it's okay. It's like really, it freezes like for a minute or so. But
wow. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't have that many issues here, but obviously this is not a full map at all. I do want to note that I saw a few people asking, like, are you building in a new zoo? And I was like, no, this is all in City Zoo, but I'm leaving some space because obviously this is an area on its own. The reptile house, I chose to not add in a specific area just yet, at least not anything we have right now in the zoo. So that's why you may seem like it's super empty around this whole Land of the Cold area, but that is just because it's a little bit further away in the zoo. So don't worry about that. We're gonna fill everything up, filling the gaps in a later stage, so it's gonna be fine. And also, I got another question, but I can't figure out anymore what it was. Hopefully it will pop up in my mind again.
Yeah, it's always the same. I got the same.
Yeah.
It's like all the questions. What was it again?
But I do in general just really want to thank everyone. I got so many amazing comments already on the first episode. Like sometimes when you do a first episode because you just have too much footage, like it looks really like the first half just doesn't look finished yet. And in this case, I was quite lucky because it's actually kind of divided into 2 different areas. So the first area kind of already looked finished, even though I'm still adding a lot of new things and stuff to that specific area, which I didn't try to show too much in the first episode. But yeah, so it was really nice to see that people already were like, oh my god, I love this so much. I'm super excited for the second part. So yeah, we have the second part, but thank you guys so much for all your amazing support already in the first episode. Now, the only thing is, I already finished this habitat for like a few days ago. And I'm already continuing in the Land of the Cold because I'm trying to work with the schedule now. So I'm trying to work a little bit.
You are so good at it. Like, honestly, let me praise you for that. I cannot believe how you do this. I would never be able to do that.
I'm doing my best just to make sure that if there's anything and I can't do anything for a few days and I still have something on my computer so I'm not falling too far behind. So yeah, it's something I'm still trying to work around with and trying to do my best to make it work. But yeah, regarding the zoo itself, I am like 2 or 3 episodes ahead at the moment.
Wow.
And but this is a good example
I
of
remember
something I really...
that I've ever been so many episodes ahead. Never ever.
Doing my best, but this polar bear habitat just took me way too long, and I'm still getting back to it. So I'm trying to add new things. So in the end of the video, it's something that I actually recorded yesterday when I already finished like 2 other habitats in the area. But I was like, I just want to add something else to it too. So yeah, I'm probably going to add a few more things in the later stage because these log hammocks, for example, I'm not entirely happy with it. So I'm not really sure yet what it is, so I might just get back to it in a later stage once we're gonna do the other side of this area. And I feel like there is some kind of style I want to add to it, or maybe just completely change the style of those buildings. So yeah, I think things might change still a little bit, but overall the habitat itself, I'm really happy with it. I'm just really happy about it.
I'm
just super
awesome.
excited.
I have to say, like, when watching the first episode, I remember that you sent me one screenshot at a time, like actually a week ago or something. So I was like, you were working really long. But I'm gonna say really that the habitat looks super nice, and I loved the way how you were manipulating the landscaping. There was one thing I've never seen before, and I loved your process of doing that. You were laying out the staircase before you were doing the landscaping. That was actually pretty clever how you did this. I always do it the other way around. First of all, I do the landscaping and then I try to mold the stairs and stuff and the stones in. But laying them out prior to this is pretty clever. So you have already kind of a guidance where you want to go. But in general, I love the layout of the habitat. Even though it's pretty gigantic, it doesn't feel, because I really think you managed to...
But it's still not big enough.
Really? Oh my god, okay. No. This is incredible. But I think...
Yeah, but that's mostly because of the rocks and stuff, which also reduce
true.
a lot of the traversable area, so...
I think also for me personally, I'm like, if I have the feeling that it's only the game telling me it's too small, but just because there are limitations to the game, I'm still fine with it. Because if you see, sometimes, there is so much blocked by all the rocks and stuff, which in reality animals could traverse easily on. I'm like, okay, they would have the space, so it's fine. Because in Sandbox, it doesn't really matter at all, and, this is really, but I just love the feeling how especially the city zoo feeling I love about this, because that's kind of also what I remember most as a kid, being in a city zoo first. So yeah,
but it's still a little bit feels like a debate of this area. Like, does it fit in a city zoo? If I look at Rotterdam Zoo, they have like quite big areas in a later stage. So yeah, regarding that, it does fit. But on the other hand, you could also see it as, like, Rotterdam Zoo, for those who don't know, is like really next to a highway. So they still have, I think, some areas which they can expand to, which are just not really built on. But yet again, on the other side, you really have like the big Rotterdam city. So it's a city zoo, but it's also like exactly in an area where you still have some room to expand and stuff. So I think regarding that, this would definitely also probably fit in there. in a way. But I don't know.
No,
It's
I
a
totally
little bit
agree.
of a debate of like, is this a city zoo? Is this not? But in the end, it's also just a game, and I also want to enjoy it. So we're not gonna
totally
do
agree.
like too many crazy things, and we're gonna get back to the city zoo style in a later stage again. But this area, I just really am enjoying it, and in the end, it's all about enjoying, right?
Totally agree.
And having fun.
And also, I must say, I think it's always a matter of the story, because many city zoos start out to be very cramped and small, but as time goes on, also the requirements for zoos in general change. So I'm guessing, like, if this is on the later stage of your city zoo, they must have done some bigger habitats because the requirements changed. And most zoos, like, are allowed to keep certain habitats for, let's say, 5 more years, but then they are already asked to change it accordingly. So that's also why you see a lot of city zoos nowadays change habitats after a time, and why they use, for example, let's say old wolf habitats now for smaller animals, because smaller animals are fine with the space while the wolf needs a bigger one, and so this changes over time. So I could totally see this one being a later addition to your city zoo, which also a lot more money was spent on. I mean, just all the, just imagine like all the different stuff you make here cost a lot of money if you want to go that route, and then all the cooling and stuff costs money as well. So that makes sense that this is at a later stage of the zoo, and so it totally fits in. But still, I still believe you managed to keep that city zoo vibe by just having a very, let's say, general European style, even though you go into this kind of timber-styled wooden cabin buildings, but it's still pretty much a themed one that you would see in a European central zoo kind of style.
I think it definitely fits a European area. I do. This area was quite a struggle. I remember texting with you, but you weren't online. And I was.
That was where you asked. Okay, I remember.
I was building this area, and I really had a struggle with like the layer underneath the water. Like, I wasn't really sure what to do and if this would look right. I already mentioned this in the first episode, like, I'm using the ice pieces. Even though I do feel that they don't blend in perfectly, I wanted to put it in still because, I don't know, it just really felt like something different. I really wish that the ice rock pieces would blend in a little bit better into each other. It looks a bit finicky. But...
I'm not going to start this discussion again. I think I said everything about these ice pieces. People will hate and burn me for this. I know. I'm not a fan of them.
Then don't.
I'm not. Let's put it that way. I'm not a fan of them. I'm a huge fan of the texture, but I'm not a fan of how they blend. However, I'm really excited to see how they work below the water, because I remember that I used them also quite a few times to make the water appear a little bit more cold and a bit more bluish. I'm really curious to see how this turned out to be looking for you, because this is where I can imagine they do work well. I was
hoping it would like give more of the blue feeling. It does have some kind of atmosphere to it if you look from the underwater viewing gallery, but it still doesn't give that blue feeling. Like, the issue was that the picture I found, what I spoke about in the first episode of Pairi Daiza, sharing on Twitter before they opened, the water looked like super blue, like really like Hawaiian blue almost. It looks really unnatural blue almost. But that is something you just can't really achieve in Planet Zoo. Like, the water, this is the brightest water you have, so the clearest water. And I don't know, you could use the art pieces to create some kind of underlayer of it, but I kind of didn't want to go for it. So the left side is more natural and rocks. I do have to add some more rocks to it now that I think of it, but that's a side note. But like the eyes, it looks okay, I guess. And for some reason, I just like the vibe of it, even though the ice pieces are not completely perfect. But it doesn't still give like the blue feeling I was hoping for. So I really hope that someday we will get some more variation in the blue watercolors. Because especially
give us billboards so you can put them below again and make a lagoon.
Definitely.
I don't know who was so stupid to do this in the first place, but
but like, imagine the underwater viewing galleries. Like, they always have this kind of really bright blue feeling because of the water and like the color of the water, and you're really missing out on that feeling in Planet Zoo. So yeah, it it was something that I just couldn't achieve. Oh, this is the last part I added yesterday. That
I'm
was, like,
excited now.
I wanted to add a cave or anything because I had so much space left, and I do know that Pairi Daiza has some kind of underground viewings too, so this could kind of be some kind of nursing area. We already have some polar bear cubs, so they are super adorable.
Oh yeah.
So
little fluffy ones. I love how they tumble around.
Yes.
Have you seen that? The animation?
It's adorable.
When they sit and just tumble across,
Yeah.
and it's so funny. I love it.
Yeah, and when they like interact with their
Yeah.
mom and dad, it's super adorable. So yeah, this could kind of be some kind of nursing area. I didn't do too much on the cave sections, also to not reduce too much more space of it. So I only added a few rocks on the sides and stuff. But yeah, just having another viewing gallery on that side is just really, really nice, and also to fill up an empty area. But this could basically also change later because I am still hoping for penguins and seals and stuff.
Not
so yeah,
only you. Oh god.
Yeah, I know. So many people. So yeah, I just actually don't want to like fill everything around the land of the cold up yet, because I am really, really hoping that before we finish the zoo that we will get some more colder climate animals, let's put it that way. So
Yeah, which would be great. That's true. But
Yeah.
I'm guessing like we would get them towards winter. So if you continue this zoo toward the winter time, I think you have a good chance of getting
oh
some.
yes.
But
that would be awesome.
honestly,
some aquatic pack.
Yeah, on that note though, I just told you I downloaded your Malian Zoo to check the performance and stuff.
yeah.
And I totally got lost in it because it's so awesome and I love it so much. And I was
thank you.
I was so impressed honestly by the performance, because this zoo, even though you told me it's not like hyper detailed, but it still has a lot in it, a lot animals, like many animals, 186 or something animals, and I left it
definitely
open to like 5,000 guests, and I kind of, the performance still was really good. So this is something that gives me a lot of hopes that this time around we can actually bring in a lot, and not like with Planet Coaster where we needed to stop at some point. And I remember that, for example, Kuali Beach only has like the first 2 DLCs, I guess, and then it was over because performance basically stopped us. And really hoping
but that's really good point, by the way. Like, I really would be so sad if I would not be able to finish City Zoo because of performance. I'm not really worried too much about it, because what we had, like with the South America Dome, that there were some lag issues. I didn't have that in any other part of the zoo, so it really just depends where you are in that zoo. So for my recordings, I obviously want to have like the best FPS performance, but if you're walking around and it's a little bit laggy, you're like, yeah, well, it's okay. As soon as you move along to a different area, it will be totally fine. But as a YouTuber, you make videos out of it, you can be really annoyed by a lower FPS rate, which is totally fine if you just, as I said, just walk around.
I think it's a little bit down to how the game works. The game just works a little bit differently than, in Planet Coaster, I guess, because I think this game really has a huge advantage when it comes to large areas, but the more cramped it gets, the more the performance goes down. Also for me, I also have areas in my Yosemite where it's like super laggy, and this is mostly also inside of domes and inside of very detailed, highly detailed areas. But as soon as you go out and the pieces start to be a little bit further apart from each other, it's all fine again. So I guess that's really the optimization they did here. And if it's that way, it's totally fine, because, we are not always that crazy with pieces in one area.
Exactly. And then the requirements for the animals comes in quite handy, that they don't want too many pieces. Okay, well, for this animal, I choose to not add too many trees and stuff. Imagine not having that, you would not feel any limitations, and we would
or
be
if
like
you're Mike, you are like having honestly always too much foliage in terms of FPS.
Exactly. Okay, so the speed build is done, so let's just jump into the real zoo and show you guys around. Okay, it's polar bear tour time. As you can see, this is still all pretty empty, but we're gonna add some more funny things here in a later stage, of course. I'm not gonna turn around because there are things that you guys haven't seen yet.
But me, it's awesome. Stay around, it's good.
So, as I said, the viewing galleries itself might get a bit more detailing in a later stage. But for now, let's just go... No, let's go here first. So this is the second part of the polar bear habitat. So we have... there is a little bit too much space here, but we're going to pretend
it's like so standard zoo.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. It's honestly, it's almost like this... I don't know how to call it, but it's so basic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In a very nice way that it fits the basic zoo style so much. And I love the white rocks almost as a graphic.
I really love that detail
really...
of Pairi Daiza, so I really tried to resemble that. And I think it works well to get like a completely different vibe going on in this area. And I also added it on this side too to close it off a little bit. So in the real life habitat, this would be a walrus habitat and it would look a little bit different. But obviously the polar bears need more space and I had this space, so I wanted to give it to them. So they have like a huge cave system underneath here going from one side to the other side. So they have a lot of space underneath there too. And of course this upper layer, they also have some space to run around and walk around. And it's funny to see that they use this water section to swim from one side to the other side because that is probably the shortest route instead of going from the inside. So every time there's food...
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's good. It's
exactly,
really good.
so they keep swimming.
So
That's
moving
cool.
around, yeah.
So this is the very first part, and so yeah, this is a little bit more natural. I think it really is nice to have two completely different areas.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love that. I think it's really cool to see. And also the change of, the very white-ish, standard-ish to a very much more natural, kind of local fauna, if you will. That
exactly.
Really cool.
Even though I know, like, many people said, like, the polar bear doesn't like grass and those kind of things. Like, we could have chosen to put snow everywhere, and I did that for a while, but I just wasn't happy with the look of it. On the other hand, like in many real life zoos, they don't have actual snow at all. So it's mostly just painted concrete or even maybe some kind of sandy rock color. And like, for example, in Rotterdam Zoo, they mostly just have grass. So they don't have any snow at all. So yeah, this could have been like a lot of snow, but come on. And no zoo
note,
you have real snow at all, so I think...
Yeah, that's totally true. On that note, though, do you know the story that now polar bears are moving more and more to the south, obviously, because Arctic, is, they don't really have that much snow in reality, unfortunately.
Less food.
Because less food and stuff, so they go to the south and they start pairing with the grizzly bears and the black bears, and so... There is a new species kind of created at the moment. And there are already quite a few living species, and they seem to be able to pair each other again amongst each other and live. And so that's actually pretty interesting. I was finding that while I was checking some hybrid animals, and how was it called again? It's not polar bear, is it polisly? I need to check that because there are also some images of those animals. They look like a polar bear from their overall bodies, but they are like brown. So that's really interesting.
I want to see that. I'm gonna pin that in the comment section for everyone to read.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you some after
super interesting. I did not hear about that. But I really like the viewings of these viewing galleries. Like, I think it really looks nice.
I love it. Also different height levels.
Yeah, we have upper levels. I think I just clicked something. No, I didn't. I'm a little bit stuck for some reason, but I think... Why can't I go up and down anymore? They don't work anymore.
E and Q go.
I swear, they don't work. That's super weird. Okay, I'm rotating. Now it's working. Okay, I'm sorry for that, guys.
I think you just did... Maybe you misclicked T.
No.
Because then you do have to... Oh, whatever. It works again. So
but yeah, the viewing galleries, like over here, like as I said, I didn't do too much on the inside. I did do a little bit more over here. Let's go to that side. So we have like that nursing area. So as I said, this is an area I'm still going to probably change a little bit because it's too much of a cabin-ish feeling. Okay, so let's go to that side first, and then we go to the underwater viewing galleries. So this is that last section I did, and I really love the flooring. By accident, I was like, that is actually not that bad. It looks really funny. So I really like that. So people can also look into the habitat right over here. And then we go down right over here. And they have just this very simple cave viewing. Oh, look, mom and their babies.
Oh, I love it. It's so cool to look into the caves. I remember this being in some zoos I went to. And I love
it's
it.
Super nice.
And you have this one-side glass, and
definitely one-side glass. So yeah, this is just a little nursing area, and where the polar bears can just get some privacy. But yet again, the people can see them. So let's go down now to the underwater viewing galleries. So, as I said, I'm gonna add some more detailing to it, but the idea is this.
I can see the comments coming in. Lady, how many rocks do you want, lady? Yes.
A lot of rocks. So this is the ice area, and I like it for some reason, even though what we said, like, it doesn't blend in super well, but
maybe you can just put some other rocks in between to just break up the mood a little bit, have some slight ground variations going on, because I also like the shading.
And actual research. I just watched a video of the Arctic, like the down layer of the Arctic, and it's just ice. So I'm not gonna add rocks if I only see ice. So that was the idea.
That's fair. That's a fair point. But I like the shading, like how it's affecting the flat surface of the water, and you have these sun shafts going in. I think that's looking good.
Yeah, I think it's okay. We just have to just try not to pretend that we don't see the weird blendings. But other than that, it has something I do like. Also like this viewing. It's pretty cool. It looks really nice.
But you have to be pretty tall to
you're not really able to see that. So in the real life zoo, you would have two different habitats. So it would actually be separated somehow here. So you would see the polar bear swimming on the left side and the walrus swimming on the right side. And if I'm right, they actually have a glass window in between, so they can actually see each other. Which is kind of fun, because you would maybe expect that they can get along or can't get along, and that they chose to do that. I don't know. It's just very interesting. I don't know if a walrus and a polar bear could get along. Look, we're seeing underwater viewing gallery next.
I could imagine that. I could imagine that the walrus is maybe also too big to be
a real danger.
A victim of the polar bear. I don't know. And vice versa. But
baby coming.
You never know.
Yeah.
Oh, the baby! I love how it seems to be struggling to swim. I love that. It's like
it's super cute.
It's so exhausting. And then how they float.
So adorable.
So now just start diving.
Yeah,
please.
but I was freaking out when I finished the first part. I was actually looking at the polar bears, and they actually have this jumping animation. I was like putting it on pause the second time,
and I was like,
because
what the
I was
hell?
like, oh my god, you have to see this. This is some really crazy shizzle. So they actually just go, they stand here on the side, and then they just jump in the water. They don't walk in the water.
I still want you to build them like a jumping board.
That would be fun. No, but seriously, I think that is just something they added later. Like, pause. We want to see that.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my gosh.
The small ones are playing.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. Okay, that's cute as overload.
Adorable. Okay, it's too bad. It's super short, but that was super adorable. But yeah, okay. Is this one gonna jump? I'm not really sure if babies do it too. No, this one just jumped. This one just walked in it. Are you? No, you're also going to walk. But it's just super fun to see that the polar bear now jumps into it. So I actually have...
That looks awesome. This
I
view.
have high hopes that that they're still working on diving. I really, really
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
really
They
hope
must.
so.
They must. Because otherwise the camel is
Yeah,
going to cry
exactly.
at some point.
Okay, let me just quickly show the last one. So I already been here, so we have some benches hidden underneath here, so that people can just
I love that,
sit
yeah.
here and enjoy any swimming polar bear if they would. And oh, did you see it? Oh my
There you
god,
go.
I'm so sorry
Ooh,
that
there
I
you go.
actually wanted to move away. But oh my god, even with a toy in
No, I
its
saw it.
mouth. So
Whoa, what just
Yeah.
completely went up into the sky. Wow, what's happening there? Look
that
at
is
that.
crazy. Yeah,
Physics.
exactly.
Physics.
So yeah, I might wanna change a little bit here, maybe to like, this is obviously a fake cave and like some fake decorations and stuff. I do really feel that we should have some more like wall paintings or anything from the polar bear, which we don't have, which is just I don't know. We only have two statues, one complete white one and one complete blue one, and I just don't really honestly like the look of it. They seem super unnatural to me, and I just no. I don't like it. And this is all we have. So we have an ice sculpture and this one, and I just want a normal statue or at least some kind of wall
Yeah,
drawings.
it's kind of like a bronze one or whatever. Yeah, I
feel
getcha.
like we should there should definitely be some more. These are from the workshop. I use them a lot also in the reptile
they're
house, and
lovely.
I shared
Yeah.
the link already, but I will try to share it again if I don't forget in the description if you guys want to download it. There are like tons of them, and I just really like to use them instead of the normal ones sometimes.
Oh, look at that. The bears.
Yeah, so yeah, hopefully we will see some diving animations soon. Like, they are definitely working on the
God, just
animations.
imagine they would. Yeah, and I really just imagine they would interact with the windows, like how they do
that
in
would be
real life when they
super
just swim by.
amazing.
Or
Yeah.
Oh, look at them! All coming in here.
So yeah, this is basically the whole polar bear habitat, and as I said, I think as much as I am like, my hands are tickling again to make some changes again. So this is some kind of project that I might, as long as we are building in the land of the cold, I might add some bits and pieces in the end still. But I'm really happy with how it is all looking, and yeah, it was exciting to build on this habitat and just to finally have some polar bears.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You as always, you just get this across that you build these habitats and they seem to really be atmospheric and kind of, you can imagine to have exactly that in a zoo. It's not overdone, it's just what it needs to have. I love it. I don't know how you do it, but also in the Malin Zoo, all of the habitats, even though you keep telling me they are simple, but that's just how zoos are sometimes. And I don't know, I just like it. It has a wonderful atmosphere. I really do dig that. And look at that view.
It's super cool.
That's it.
I really enjoy just...
Oh wow, what a pun.
I just enjoy just roaming around here and just enjoy the polar bears. I want to see you jump, and then we're gonna end the video, but I have this feeling you're not gonna jump for me. No, you're gonna walk.
It's gonna take exactly the slope.
Ah, gee.
Just push it, pull it out. Just put it out again. Just put it out and put it on the rocks.
Yeah. Okay, let's try that.
Because now it has the wish to go into water. So maybe it
that
does
would
it
be
again.
fun.
But as I know the animals in the game, they will just turn around now and go into the cave.
Yes,
and say,
that could
nope.
definitely be. That is so frustrating. They never do what you want them to do.
Yeah, they just have their own mind.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, no, it's gonna dry itself off. Oh, it's turning around.
Are you gonna
Okay,
jump?
let's have
Yes.
hope.
Yes.
That looks good.
No, we didn't. Oh my goodness. Well, it's cool to see that they do different variations, like, but
That's
still.
true, yeah.
And they have a lot of fun in the water, so we definitely need some diving. Anyways, we're gonna end this for now. I really would love to hear what you guys think of this whole polar bear habitat. Do let me know in the comment section down below. Camel, thank you so much for joining me in this episode.
Thank you for having me so spontaneously. That was lovely.
As I said, definitely go and check out my favorite camel. I will link his channel in the descriptions if you don't know him yet. And leave a like at the video if you guys enjoyed, and subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. And I really hope to see you guys all in the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye.